This is Majanoni, and here is some comic reviews for you. Amazing Spider-Man number 694, Ultimates number 16, and Wolverine and the X-Men number 17. Now, let's do this one first. Now, what we have here is actually a really very, very cool issue. As you can see, it's entitled Wolverine's Secret Weapon, and this basically is an issue about dupe. And this one's also special in the sense that it's penciled by Michael Aldred, who did the Ecstatic book line, or Ecstatic. Now, which is, of course, dupe is from that book. Anyways, let's take a look at what's going on here. Now, what we have here is Deathlock giving Wolverine his assessment of what's going on, and he says, dupe is the only person that's completely useless, and he doesn't understand why he's even here, especially when you see him laid out like this. And under normal circumstances, you would say, I agree with you, but Wolverine's like, nope, he's here for a reason. It's because I want him here. And then basically what they do is they go into what Wolverine had to do to get dupe on his side. Now, parts of it's kind of comical, but then what really gets good is when they show you what he actually does. This guy is literally the secret weapon of the school. He through his network, anytime he hears of somebody that's going to cause trouble for the school, what he does is he goes and intercepts it. And we're talking about everything from attacking a team of bowlers who want to destroy everything to pleasuring city council members who are trying to shut down the school. So there's a lot of craziness. There's guest stars, lots of shenanigans going on, and this is actually a really entertaining book overall. And you really feel sorry for Duke because he really is really crazy tired based on what he does. He pretty much does more stuff than the regular X-Men do at times. And usually when the X-Men do see him, it's usually he's like passed out at meetings and things like that. So they have really no clue what's going on. And Wolverine's not talking. Overall, I really enjoyed this. It was really entertaining. And actually, it's much appreciated that they even show what's going on with him. Because usually we just see him in the background and he's not really doing much. So now they gave him basically his spotlight to shine in. And very much appreciated. Very good read. Okay, Ultimates number 16. Now, I can only wish this was based in reality, because if Captain America was president, my God, things would get done, and things would get done quickly and efficiently. Basically what happens is he gets sworn in, and he's like, okay, I'm sworn in, I accept the job as president, now it's time for me to get to work. And he goes and he shuts down problem after problem personally. Like they're saying there's a problem with North and South Carolina, how they're warring against each other. Well, Cap swoops in with his fellow Avengers, takes care of business, and these two are forced to shake hands. Now, there's, of course, forces within the government who basically don't want Cap doing all this, because they're the ones kind of instigating the problem. And, it's just like when they give him the call to say, this is not the way Washington does things, it's compromise, it's this, it's that. And you know what, I swear to God, I hear this in reality. The bunch of nonsense that comes out of the politician's mouth happens. And we just really do need somebody to come in there and just say, you know what, I'm giving you the finger, I'm doing what needs to be done, and does it. And takes care of business like Cap. And this was actually a really entertaining read. They're also setting up who the main villain is overall for this plotline, and it's definitely going to be affecting Thor. And it's not quite who you may or may not think it is. And of course, if you've read the book, then you know. But overall, I really enjoyed this issue, and I'm really curious to see how Cap's presidency is going to pan out. There's also like an attempt on his life, and he quickly took care of that. And he's doing, overall, the creative team on this book is doing a fantastic job. And it's just because I'm glad that they're able to take these kind of risks to tell these types of stories. I'm really enjoying it. If you haven't been buying it, it might be a little bit late, but look for the trades. And if you just suspend belief that it's not part of, just remember it's part of the ultimate line, and don't hold any grudges against what they do in it, based on like how you feel your favorite character should be treated, and you'll do fine. Okay, Battle of the Century, half century, Spider-Man and Alpha. Now, Alpha is basically a character, superhero, who's completely out of control. He's not really even going to his training sessions with Peter, and he's basically jet-setting. He's got his women, he's got his money, penthouse apartment, etc. Well, one day, after Peter gets the brush off again, he decides to go visit his aunt, and who happens to show up Terminus. Now, the part that, of course, is just a plot device to get things moving is Cap calls on Alpha. I kind of find that hard to believe that Cap would have done it, considering he's really untested, but at the same time, it is Terminus, and Alpha is, extremely powerful. We see that Alpha's powers are growing, and because of his immaturity and inexperience, he causes major problems. One of the problems happens to be affecting the air traffic, around the area, and planes are starting to crash because of his Alpha ways disabling the aircrafts. Well, in one of those planes, conveniently, is his Aunt May and her husband. And so what basically happens is they have to go in there, and Spidey has to save the day. Now, there's a couple key things that happen in this issue at the end. One is J. Jonah Jameson's attitude towards Spider-Man at the end. I thought that's really interesting, the way what J. Jonah mentions to him and his general reaction to him. And it's mimicking almost what was going on in the Ultimate Universe, and part of me wishes that whatever happens in the issue 700 does not impact what they're doing with Peter, slash Spider-Man with J. Jonah. I think they have something really special that's going, and it's developed. It's like an interesting relationship, that basically went from hatred to, basically being thankful. And I want to see how that's going to develop, and I fear that, since we only have 6 more issues until that 700 comes, it's not going to fully develop into something wonderful. And keep in mind, when I say something wonderful, I don't necessarily mean they're going to be holding hands and drinking tea and eating cake. I'm just saying is there's a path that they can take to fully develop a relationship change. It could be good or bad at the final outcome, but they can really explore that over time. The second is Alpha. What happens to him. Now, he really screws things up royally, and personally, I think Peter's taking this a little too personally. It's like, I created Alpha. Alpha's acting irresponsibly. I can't control him, and he almost killed my family. So he basically goes to shut down Alpha. Now, I don't consider that necessarily a spoiler, just because that was going to happen. They've already been saying it's going to happen. But even though they shut him down, they didn't shut him down completely. What they're doing is they're basically putting him into a holding pattern. I think what they're going to do is they're going to wait to see what people's reactions are of Alpha, and if it's a positive reaction and people want more of him, we're going to see him again. But for right now, he's getting what he needs. He needs to get the spanking. He needs to get knocked back down to reality, and he gets that. And I'm very happy I saw that, because Alpha was an ass, and he deserves everything that he got at the end. And keep in mind, it's not like it's something bad, but it's a very humbling experience. And I think from that, if anything, he can grow to appreciate the gift that he gets, or gift that he has. And hopefully, based up from that, he'll either spring into the world's greatest supervillain against Spider-Man, or he'll develop into a truly amazing hero. So I think the way that ended, they ended it quickly, conveniently. I think that's where ultimately it needed to go. Anyways, that's my review for these 3 books. Also, just one more quick thing with Spider-Man. We do have a supervillain returning at the very end, and I won't tell you who that is. So, I'll give you guys a free book. How about I give out Wolverine and the X-Men? I think this is really, like I said, this was probably the most enjoyable read that I had for this week so far, the books that I read, even though I didn't read a lot yet. There's the number. Don't forget to like the Facebook link that's down here, because I'll give out another code there at some point. Not sure when. And I'll have more reviews coming out later. Look on my other channel, PandaCube TV, for a review of Bait, this wonderfully horrible shark movie. And I'll have a review of these 2 movies at some point in time on that channel as well. This is Painted Skin, Martial Arts, and Terror Flight, I think it's called. Ghosts on an airplane, basically. So, anyways, if you have any comments or questions, let me know. Rate the video up or down. Let me know what you think. I'll have more reviews later. Don't forget to check out PandaCube TV. We have Avatar cooking there also. So until next time.